Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and you are listening to the world's greatest podcast. You know, this is the world's greatest podcast in one, two, three galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast so you can get the uploads on a regular basis. Go to the YouTube channel. The podcast is there every day. But go to the YouTube channel and subscribe because we're going to start producing more videos. We want to get to 100 by the end of June. Be a part of that. Be a, listen, be hip, be cool. Don't be the Johnny come lately, okay? Because when we get to a million real subscribers, not the bought and paid kind. We don't do the bought. You know how you can always tell when somebody bought and paid for a lot of Instagram followers and all that. They have a million followers, but then they make a post and it's like 50 people 50 people saw it. 50 people liked it. It's like, come on, that ain't real. But people like to try to position themselves and make themselves look grandioso when they're not grandioso. But here at Online Marketing Moves, we don't do that because who has time to be a full-fledged listen? I'm not very good when it comes to lying, so I can't keep up with lies. I can't keep up with I couldn't lie for long, so I'm not good at that. So all our numbers are going to be organic, but we are going to get to a million. Um, we are going to get to a million people downloading these podcasts. We're going to get to a million people watching the YouTube. We got to get those YouTube numbers up. I'm trying to get like I'm trying to get like whoever's big on YouTube. I'm trying to get Mr. Beast numbers. I mean, we're never gonna get that high, but it'd be nice to start monetizing the YouTube channel. I don't even know, like, and then we're gonna say, and then once we get the YouTube up and running, don't get upset when there's an ad area of 5 seconds. Okay, go pay for YouTube or something. I'm just kidding, but I don't know how all that works. But the most important thing you can do before you dream about YouTube money, before you dream about podcast money, writing money, all that stuff. The most important thing you can do is actually do the work. if you I remember one time I was thinking about I was like, oh man, you can make a lot of money on YouTube, and you sitting there, you're thinking, and it's like, well, if you don't upload any videos, you ain't gonna make any money to begin with. So but you don't want to make that your only option. And today we are going to talk about we probably talked about this before, but it's always nice to go back and revisit a topic as something as such as important as when it comes to money. Okay, because you want to, not only you want to make plenty of money, you want to be able to keep plenty of the money, you know and you want to be able to invest the money. You want the money to start working for you. You don't want to be. Uh, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. You don't want to be like the host of this show back in the 2001 2002 when I was working making $8 an hour at a bean. I worked with my brother. We would put beans in a bag, and they would pay us eight they would pay us $8 an hour. I think I was making $8 an hour or 750, one of the two. Wasn't wasn't on my way to become a millionaire at that point, okay? But it was it was labor intensive. And if I would have known what I know now, I would have started saving then. You can save no matter if it's a big amount, small amount, you can start saving money. And because and you want to get it to, because me and my wife, we had a discussion yesterday, and my wife wants to start investing in like different little things, putting in like 2,500, seeing if we can get back, 5,000, 7,500. But the point is, she doesn't want to do a lot of work, and she said something, and she said, I don't want to lose money. And I go, well, part of investing, you're gonna make some gains, but you're also gonna lose some. If you don't if you don't invest, you will never gain money, but you also never lose money. So you have to realize, hey, investing is like a lot of things. It's a gamble, just like investing in, you invest time, you invest effort into building a podcast, building the YouTube channel. It's an investment, and you're not gonna monetize right off the bat. But what you can do is keep striving, keep going, keep putting in the work, and eventually you will start to see the money. The money will come. So never 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 use the phrase I've spent when it comes to your YouTube channel, when it comes to podcasting, when it comes to creating content, when it comes to trying to create um, things for yourself. It's not you spending, it's you are investing. And the more that you are able to invest, time, this is why, you might want to wake up early. If you don't have a lot of time, if you're working a job and you're like, I want to start doing this, you might want to wake up early or stay up late, but you want to be able to invest time, effort, energy into the thing, because it would definitely come back eventually. I've I uploaded 700 and something odd podcast episodes on my YouTube channel. You know, I'm not at 1 million subscribers. I'm not at 1 million hours people sat there and listen. But I knew this. I knew this going in, and I know what I have to do. You got to make videos. You got to make videos along with the podcast to really get things going. And so you are investing time. You are investing energy. You are investing effort. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you want to come to a point where you have the ability to make money from podcasting, you make money from Facebook, you make money from Instagram. You want to get to the point where everything you are doing when it comes to your business, when it comes to you're making money. What I mean by that is you don't want to be wasting a lot of time on, well, I guess I don't want to project my thoughts onto you, but what I'm telling you is, if you're gonna spend a lot of time on social media, you're gonna spend a lot of time on the internet, you might as well make money from it. And there's a variety of ways to make money from it. I'm giving you a couple of examples: podcasting, YouTubing. Um, you can write, you can blog, you can build a website, you can write for people. You can go to Upwork. You can go to Fiverr. There are a lot of different ways that you can start generating income, and you can reapply the income, and you can invest into the things that you want to do. You can invest into your website. You can invest into an app. You can invest into different things, so that way you can generate more money. The game plan is not to you want to go from surviving to thriving. And now I know about surviving, because for a long time I did that, and it's a mentality. It's like, all right, I need to do this to pay the rent next month, or I need to work over here to pay the rent. I can save up and pay the rent for 2 months. And when you think like that, that's great, and that will get you so far. but it will not. It will the survivor's mentality will not get you the wealth that you want. Okay, survivor's mentality will get you to live another day. Okay, it will get you, hey man, paid my rent this month. Woo! And you can sit there for a couple of minutes and like, but then you have to do it again. You want to get to the point where you are thriving, because when you start thriving, you have the vision, the you have the vision, and you have the ability to say, okay, the machine is going. You want to build a machine. You want to build a machine. You want to build a money making machine. You want to get to the point where it's like you have a base. Okay, you build a base. You build a base, or you build a base, and there's money that comes in there every month, and you know it's coming in, and you're like, all right, I I got this money. This money's coming in. Now, what can I do to generate more money? That is the goal. That is the key. You know, as I told you before, we're not gonna, I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh man, if you work over here and do dot 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 dot." No, the if you have a job, that's great, but you want to build out something for yourself. You want to build out something that can make you money every month. That is the goal. Whether it be YouTube, whether it be podcasting, whether it be from a website, whether it be you sell Avon, does not matter. But you want to do something that every month, eventually you can build it out, and eventually you don't have to watch it much, but is making you money on a regular basis. And that way you are thriving. And then once you go from surviving to thriving, the opportunities are endless. You will be able to see bigger pictures. You'll be able to think a whole lot easier, and you'll be able to say, all right, I can do this, I can do that. I have an extra $2,000, extra $5,000, extra $10,000 to play with. So you can go invest, and you can go do different things, and you can create more money, and you can, not create money to create for the sake of creating money, but you want to create money to have for your children. I want to, I want to pay for I don't want my daughter to go to college, you know, and have to be like, man, I'm hurting, I'm hurting for money. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to pay, blah blah blah. If she gets the scholarship, great. But I don't want to put pressure on her to be like, girl, if you don't get that scholarship, you ain't going to college. Because we both know that by the time my daughter she's 2, and by the time she goes to school, college is gonna be, you know, double the price it is now. It wasn't like when I went to college. Uh, it was like $70 a credit, maybe $50, something like that. I can't remember. I didn't stay long, but anyway, you want to get to the point where you go from surviving to thriving. And when you get into the thriving mode, you see things in a different manner. I had a discussion with my wife yesterday, and we was talking about, investing and all this stuff. And I thought to myself, man, back in the day, I would have been thinking to myself, I don't know about all that. I'm just trying to pay the I'm just trying to pay the rent. But I'm in a different place in life. I'm I have things going. Things are going well. I know they're gonna get better and better, and there's gonna be more opportunities. There's gonna be more things that I add on to my plate, more things to generate money, generate income, and I'm in the thriving mode, which is it's a heck of a lot better than being in the surviving mode. Like I told you before, there's nothing wrong with being in survival mode. Most of us have been there. That's a cool place to be, but it's not a cool place to be. It's not cool at all. It's a necessity. It's not cool. But thriving and knowing, all right, let me invest in this, let me invest in that. I got a camera for the YouTube. I got a nice camera, I can use. I have podcast equipment that I was able to buy, years ago. I'm using it now. So a lot of stuff that I bought was an investment, and now we're using it. Two two 2 years later, 3 years later, different things like that. And so when you get into the mentality of thriving, it's a lot. There's more clarity than, man, what am I going to do about my car? What am I going to do about my payment? If a tire goes flat, blah 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 blah. I've been there, I've done that. You want to get to the point where you're like, all right, I don't want you want to shed that kind of thinking, because there's a bigger picture. And if you start thinking, all right, I'm going to build out I'm going to build out revenue for myself that I can come back to on a regular basis, and I know it's going to be there for me and my family. And when you get down to that mentality, you are ahead of the game. All right, but ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I know we started off talking one thing, but I thought to myself, we got to discuss. I don't think I've ever discussed surviving mode versus thriving mode. Surviving mode is okay, but it's good for right now. But thriving, you want to think about, for thriving is the future down the road for you, your spouse, your children, your children's children. You want to be able to, you don't, hey, you ain't got to be a billionaire and all that kind of jazz. But what you want to do is you want to leave something for the next generation, whether it be more financial knowledge, whether it be, a house, some money, but you want to move the ball. You want to move. You want to move the ball ahead for the next generation. Y- you know. I know people love to come. People love to say, "Man, I saw." My friend was telling me about this whole nepo baby thing, nepo babies, blah blah blah. But I wouldn't mind if my daughter if my daughter got to start off second base, great. If she starts off at third base, great. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. We have to stop. People have to stop thinking, oh man, they didn't. They inherited this business. There's nothing wrong with that. You want that for your children. You don't want your children, you know, my parents, they had it harder than me. Okay. My parents, they was in junior high, high school, going out to fields just to get money for school, picking cotton, you know. Uh I didn't have to do that, My parents, they went to every year, they went to the store, got us stuff. We didn't ask questions where the money came from. They worked for it. I didn't have to go out, working was. I got a job when I was 16 because I wanted my own money. Not that, and plus they could give me money. It wasn't going to be much money, but I just wanted to make my own money. And I wanted to be able to say, hey, I got money. I don't need your money, because that's the time I grew up in. But you saw I see these things about nepo babies and all this and all that. But there's nothing wrong with starting from second base. You want your children to start from second base. I hope my daughter doesn't have to start from home plate. Well, I ain't gonna say hope. I know my daughter's not gonna start from home plate. I know my daughter's not gonna start from the muddy mud. You know what I mean? We're gonna create things for her, so that way when it's time for her to be an adult, she can ease on into life. Because, hey man, adulthood, working, all that stuff, it's hard. And if you can make things a little easier for the next generation, then by all means do that, and then you can pat yourself on the back. All right, but ladies and gentlemen, thrive, don't survive. We'll be back tomorrow with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. And as always, everybody, peace.